Okay, folks, we've got a big agenda tonight. Malbacher wants to talk about antennas if we got time, so we're going to go ahead and get going here. We've got Smokey, KE6IVK in green, Wilson, N4ZQT, Porter, KG4GTK, John from Lawrenceburg, KM4CH, Mike from Louisville, AG4EP, that's right? Okay. We got Bob, KI4JWK, we got Brad, WA4HBM, we've got Tim, KG9NA, and then the Dawson table, from right to left, Linda, AK4GZ, and Glenn, AK4HA, and David, KB4ESN. Our luncheon in June, are you raising your hand? Are you waving?
I was saying there's more to come.
There's a QRO guy over there that...
I'm actually going downstairs. There's one sitting here too.
June luncheon will be at the Cracker Barrel, right up here, off Newtown. I think it's called Stanton or something like that. What would be a good Thursday, preferably in the last half of the month, for everybody to do that? How's your schedule over there, Dawson?
So far, the 19th, I guess, will be kind of in the middle.
Okay. How, for anybody that wants to go, how's the 19th work out? Thursday the 19th, okay? Let's just go ahead and look at it. June 19th, 11:30. Do you know if the Colvins will be back?
It should be.
Should be back? Okay.
Right now, he's just a little out of Little Rock.
You got APRS tracking going on it?
No, I just talked to him.
That's the new APRS.
Just text.
It's the manual packet reporting system. Cell phones are packetized, but okay. All righty. I've got the agenda written down here. This is what I put in the. So I'm hopefully not going to forget anything. What is everybody's plans for field day if you have plans? Maybe you're waiting until the last minute to make it more of an emergency preparedness event, but how about you all?
Well, Roger has prepared, he wants to use his yard in his community.
Okay.
Set up in his community for QRP.
Uh-huh.
So anybody who wants to come and join us there, that would be great
Okay.
for the QRP. That way we'll be away from the QRO stations.
Okay.
We might
We're going to go to eat
park.
at the park. You know, we're not going to be antisocial. So I think we might be under.
Probably won't be room in here.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to miss the food.
Yeah, and I know Roger's not going to feed any of us. So.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be BYOF, bring your own. Okay. Okay. Now, who else? I know, Mike, that you've got plans. Who else in the group has plans for field day? Anybody over that away? Okay, there's Smokey, but tell us about yours, Mike.
Oh, mine is really more of a big antenna experiment. I bought a couple of those spider beam 40-footers. So I put two of those up 40 foot apart, and I have something that looks kind of like a trapezoid, almost square, up in the air. About the box is 36 feet high. It's about 40 feet wide at the bottom, probably closer to 30 or something at the top, because they bend a little bit.
Rudy.
Well, it's a quad. There's two of them 40 foot apart in order to kind of form the box. And it's not going to be rotatable. I mean, obviously I've got it just kind of sitting there. But I already tested it out east-west and nailed a friend of mine who got his ticket recently up in northeast Pennsylvania. And we traded 5x8s and I was using 30 watts at the time, so it was...
This is going to be in Anchorage, Kentucky, where you're going to set up? Huh? Anchorage, Alaska. AG4EP port stroke KL7.
Something like that, yeah. No, seriously. So that's I built that to go east-west, and it can get 20 meters as well. I have a end fed that I made. I'd like to talk to some people later on about these transformers. This one's acting a little wonky, not really sure why, but the 80 meter, that's a technical term. The 80 meter one will get the nets, you know, kind of local up and down about 300 miles or so. It's pointing roughly northwest, southeast. And then I want to make another one. That's kind of what I brought this thing for. Cabela sells these for about 11 bucks a piece, just shy of 11 each. And this one's a 10-footer. You get a 10-footer, a 13-footer, or a 16-footer. Any of the three of them are these Cabela's crappie sticks, for, gotta be careful there, crappie poles, for about 10 bucks, 11 bucks. So this one is gonna get a T, you know, just a PVC T, and a little dowel rod, I think about a 3/4, turn down a little bit will do it, because you just shove that in the back of it here. And then you got two of those back to back, extended out about 10 foot each way. You can use about 8.5 foot each side. Make a 20 meter quad, and then put a 15 meter diamond within the same quad, feed them at the same feed point. So the idea there is I'll get 20, 15, and 10 off of that setup. And then I have two Yagis, a 6 meter and a 2 meter that I made from some old cable TV, channel 5, channel 2 beams. I'm gonna shorten them a little bit, cut back one element.
Okay.
That's gonna be the setup.
All righty, very good. Okay, over this way, Lawrenceburg, John, doing anything?
Yeah, we're gonna be setting up at the county park.
Okay.
I think we're gonna have the Kentucky Baptist Disaster Relief Van probably will be set up as well, along with our other equipment. And Jerry's furnishing most of the radios and the antennas and all that sort of thing.
Okay, so that's the general Lawrenceburg Club, and then you're gonna have like a QRP station within it?
No QRP.
No QRP,
No
okay.
QRP in particular, no.
Okay.
Gonna be operating CW down?
Well, if I can find somebody to let me, I will. If I can find a key somewhere.
You know where we'll be.
Yeah.
You can come out there and do it all you want with us.
Obviously.
And you gonna use Jerry's call for that, or does the club have a call, KY-QRP?
Yeah, we'll use KY-QRP, I'm sure. Now, we'll have a GOTA station, it may have a different call. But
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna run, what are we running, 3F? Is it F, that emergency communications?
Yeah, I think if you're an EOC, yeah, it's F.
They're arguing about whether to run 2F or 3F. They're gonna talk more about it
Yeah.
tomorrow night at the club meeting,
Okay.
so.
No, sorry, there's no QRP, because you can do you get like a 5 times multiplier or something
Well,
on your,
we'll do that for the multiplier, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll do it for the multiplier.
if you can get one, have one station operate QRP, you have to look at, you just have to look at the rules and decide if you want to do it that way.
I think all of them have to if one does, don't they? For QRP.
You might be right, but I-
Station.
Yeah, you might be right that if you can't really mix QRP and 100 watt
You
stations.
can get low power, you can get a bonus for something, QRP or battery or something. You get some kind
Get
of
a bonus for battery.
Yeah.
It might be emergency charge up, like solar power or something like that. They've changed the rules a little bit.
So I'm not sure on the EOCs, hang on, I'll tell you.
See, we don't even have to run on emergency generators. I thought that was a new thing I didn't know about. We don't have to run on emergency.
I have an old automobile battery, so I just charge that up, and I'm gonna use the 817.
Well, if you're running QRP, you're good for all weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bonus if you are independent of, carbon producing, stuff, whatever. Okay, so how about over here, Smokey, are you gonna, is anybody gonna come operate QRP at Veterans Park?
I don't know, nobody's told me.
Roger said he would. Roger
Okay,
said he would.
well, so you're gonna be doing, well, he's gonna be in his front yard, so,
We're all gonna be over there in his place.
alrighty.
Yeah, me, you, and anybody, that's what Roger said, anybody that wants to operate QRP. We're having
Okay.
a family discussion.
Okay, let's talk field work other than field day. Have you all been out anywhere?
Yeah, we've been to the park,
Shilto?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, now that's when I worked Russia, so I don't, that may have been,
Well, that's right. That's why I remembered something about you being, yeah. You worked a UA.
I think that, mentioned that last time I was here.
Or you told me the last time I saw you, whenever that was, yeah, yeah. Maybe at the luncheon. So this would have been like early to mid-May? Okay. Have you been out since?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's too hot for me already.
Yeah, been to Dallas, that's what, Dayton, I mean.
Yeah. Has Roger, so the Colvins went out with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have they done anything else?
You know, he's been out of town to work on antennas and just set SWR on them and things, but I'm not sure whether that's, I think he's been out once since I have, so.
Okay. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll probably see him at July meeting, so we'll find out. Okay. All right, anybody else with field work? Now, obviously, you've been out playing with your antennas, right? So that counts as field work.
This brought along something else. By the way, that's, if you slip that pipe over a 1.5, then those spider beams will fit right over that. It's almost 2 inches.
Yeah.
Does really, really well. A 1.5 pipe goes in the ground real slick. So I wanted to make a dial-in for the 40-meter quad, you know, something like about a 2-to-1 ratio. That's about 1/4-to-1 turns ratio for a 2-to-1. So it's kind of kludged up, but it's an FT43 material, and that should get enough inductance on primary and secondary to match the lower impedances, the 100 on one side and 50 on the other. But I borrowed an analyzer and put that on there, and it is just, I mean, it's showing an impedance of somewhere up in the hundreds. So, and that's on the primary where the UHF is. I tried putting this resistive ladder that I had, I just put the first one across it, and just to eliminate the antenna. I had this, and that's the problem that showed. So I don't know if anybody else has any experience in winding antennas. One of the things I used for this was stranded wire, but it's only 7 megahertz, so I don't think that stranded will mess me up. But if anybody has some guidance on winding RF transformers, I'm all ears. I was hoping Bill would stick around.
He'll be up here.
Yeah, you'll be up a little bit, or you can, if you need to, run down there and hunt him up. Okay, any field work plans coming up other than field day?
You know, I've not done anything, I'm still, but I live next door to the park in Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
And my house is literally by the side entrance of the city park, and it's just full of places to have operations. There's a gazebo and all kind of stuff out there, and big, nice hickory trees. It's pretty open in between them. I've got a Rebel I bought it 2 years ago. And this year I bought an Infed 4020, the Infed's brand. It's a little piece of 174 to feed it, so I guess I'm eventually gonna have to slip over there.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is you get over there and you realize you forgot something, you don't have far to go.
I'm as far as from here to the road.
Yeah.
But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if I ever get started, we might invite some of you guys over sometime.
Yeah,
It's a pretty nice little park.
The thing to do is just post to the, like, when you think you're gonna go, it posts to the Yahoo group. And it can be short notice, because you just wait and see what the weather's gonna do. Probably it would be helpful to do it to post the day before. A 24-hour weather forecasts are usually fairly accurate.
One of these little sprints or something. I can't seem to get my juices going unless there's some kind of a
Contest.
So,
Well,
some kind of a little sprint or something.
yeah, and then also on the weekends, there's usually a contest. I mean, some weekends more than others. Like the CQWPX CW was just it was just a weekend or two ago.
Aren't there
And-
several little like fist contests that are like?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
4
yeah.
hours,
Mhm.
2 hours, or just
Yeah.
little short
Now, the North American QRPCW Club, see, they're on a weeknight and they don't start till like 8:30. So, go ahead, Smokey.
The June QSO party is the 14th, 13th, 14th?
June VHFQ so far.
VHF.
Yeah,
QSO.
yeah.
But there's another contest right after that I saw today that was on the same weekend. They was mostly CW.
Yeah, and a lot of those things, there's a separate category for QRP, or they, if you want to send in a log, or if you don't, it doesn't matter.
Is there still
So
that monthly field day thing going?
I go through the ARRL contest schedule every month. I don't recall seeing it.
That's the one that you had posted up, or somebody posted up about a year or two ago.
There were some people at one time that were interested in that. I don't know whether I don't recall seeing it. But you don't remember the sponsor, do you?
No.
So, yeah, but like John says, there's plenty of contests, especially on the weekends, for that you can get into, and yeah, it's fun because the other end of the path, you've got a big gun.
You were asking about a balun. I was answering Porter's question when you asked him on the my brother just don't. I've taken a 5-inch PVC and just wrapped coax around about 20 turns
Yeah.
and had good luck with making a homemade balun that way.
Well, I actually am not labeling correctly. What I really should call it is an RF transformer.
Okay.
You know, with two inputs for, input for primary, separated from, or isolated from the outputs on the secondary.
Okay. You won't transfer.
I want a transformer. Yes, sir. One that works. My NFED.
You want an
NFED
impedance matching device.
Yeah, and that NFED 80 that I made, it's about 10% too short. Now, this is after you do the 468 over F. It's about 10% shorter than that.
Because of the ground probably.
Golly, I don't know.
Unless it's up 100 feet, it's gonna have all kind of inductance to the ground. Most of my 160 and 80 meter antennas always wind up short.
Well, my guess is that there's some inductance playing in it, and that's going to require the whole antenna to be short. That's my working assumption, but, this thing's not behaving like the textbook says. So I'm still-
All righty, anybody with number 5, new equipment or new kits or completed kits? Nothing?
Yeah, Roger and I went to 4 days of May.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, catch that for.
And we made, God, what was that thing we made? I forgot what it was. It's a kit that you can utilize for anything. I helped Roger put it together, and it was a sight. Watch Roger do that. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do that. It's a thing to be used with to make computer add-on different devices, all kinds of different devices.
Pickaxe, wasn't it? Wasn't it
Yeah.
pickaxe processor?
Yeah, there you go. And, let's see, I didn't bring kit 1 back. I bought a lot of stuff to finish projects,
Okay.
and I got,
CW.
yeah, I bought a little leg mount CW gear.
Leg mount CW key, okay.
Fixed that, built that up since I come back.
So have you been out mobiling around with it?
You know, I have a pedestrian mobile back.
That's right, you do.
And while I was up there, I got a telescoping antenna that goes all the way up 17 feet. Pull it at that before we want to. And I got a tunable inductor. I got a screwdriver type antenna coil to go with it. And we got to be doing that when Roger gets back.
Okay.
gonna be going out.
Do some pedestrian mobile then.
Right, just try it out, see how it works.
Uh-huh, okay.
Go do some rock climbing.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me, because I did forget one thing on the agenda, is I wanted a full report on 4 days in May from anybody that went.
Yeah,
So,
we went.
John,
Well, these guys participated in it, a
Yeah.
little more heavily. I go every year, but I don't do the kit building. I do enjoy looking at the, meeting the club, all the various QRP clubs from around the world, actually, especially the GQRP guys, for me, when I made friends with some of those guys.
uh-huh.
Smart people there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting group to be around. They're builders and thinkers, aren't they? But they're very friendly.
Okay, so
It was-
tell us about your experience.
I just did. I watched Roger build his and helped hold the toothpick so he could mount the little tiny parts.
They did surface mount.
We worked on service mount.
and they had a lot of little workshops or
Yeah.
little,
Oh, they had lots of good
they
workshops.
give you a thick book of, you know, all the notes from the presentations.
Uh-huh. Okay. Did anybody else go? Nobody? Alrighty. Okay. Okay, so before we turn it over to Mike, does anybody else have anything that I have forgotten or something that you thought of that you wanted to mention or anything like that? Okay, well, Mike wanted to talk about antennas, so we've got,
Actually, we mostly did.
okay, so you think you pretty well covered it?
Yeah, one question I had for the group here, especially people that have operated field day more than I have for the last 10 years. The question I had was about polarization. And polarization, whether you're finding vertical, like Bill asked earlier if I was doing a vertical. I don't hear a lot when I go vertically polarized. When I went to a horizontally polarized antenna, I'm supposed to make faces better. So, when I went to a horizontally polarized antenna, I was able to work my buddy up in northeast Pennsylvania. I was curious as to, in field day, whether people are finding that you better stay horizontally polarized, or if you find kind of a mix of.
Well, I do, because you actually get a higher angle, which is probably what you want for field day. If you were wanting to work Australia, you know, you'd be good with the vertical for the
I'd be
lower
happy to
angle.
work,
You're gonna have to lay out a lot of
California.
ground.
Sorry?
You're gonna have to lay a lot of grounding radials
Yeah.
I
down.
think I've got the ground system pretty well set.
How many radials do you have?
I used that one I published to you guys, about 16 by 16 and a half, 16 radials, 16 and a half each.
That ought to do it.
Yeah, it's more than adequate. It loads up real well. It's just I'm not sure that there are that as many stations operating vertically polarized as horizontal. Now, about close to 10 years ago, I took an 18 AVQ, and my son and I just operated a few hours field day. We did all right.
Well, if you're gonna operate where you could switch it back and forth, you know, that's your best bet.
Yeah, because then you can see what antenna they're coming in better on. But basically, in field day, you're mostly working stations via skip off the ionosphere, and therefore it doesn't really matter in that regard what polarization you use. Where it comes into play is that a vertical antenna will have a lower radiation angle, and horizontal will be a higher. But the thing is for field day, you're going to be working a lot of, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan,
Well, certainly on
Carolinas.
80 with
Yeah.
the dipole. On
Right.
40, when I had the vertical at 40 feet and tried to work Vic up in PA, he's about 700 miles away. And that wasn't really, the vertical wasn't getting it. He was using a G5RB.
You got so many people that are on the air that day that, the interference is gonna be terrible,
Yeah,
and verticals are not gonna do just great.
yeah.
I've had pretty good luck with inverted Vs. We've used those
Yeah.
in the past and got it real good, with them.
Yeah, and they're easy to put up
They're
as
very
well.
easy to put up, yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, take like a G5RV and use it like that, or you use it?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to work as G5RV, so the point being, Chris, that the bounce off the ionosphere had to been a bounce because of 700 miles.
Right.
But it really wasn't getting them. I went to the quad, which picks up some gain as well, but I mean, I was
Yeah,
5x8.
but that has more to do with the angle because the polarization of your signal starts getting distorted the minute it leaves your antenna.
All right.
And it tends towards
Rolling.
rolling, and it also just starts to tend towards horizontal. It's more stable horizontal than vertical. So there's different, the polarization comes into play like local people talking on 2 meter FM. Well, y'all better be the same polarization or you're going to be in trouble. I mean, you instantly lose 20 dB. Or, well, if the polarization stayed the same, you'd lose 20 dB, but, you'll get some distortion going from here to Manowar Boulevard, but not that much, so everybody has to use the same. But when it comes to talking to California or something like that, it just doesn't
The thing
factor
that
into
gave me
play.
pause to consider is that I read the operating hints for VHF,
Yeah,
and they said on 6 meters for field day, it's CW single sideband, and on those modes, it's almost all horizontal.
yeah,
And
you'd
that's-
probably want to be horizontal
Yeah,
for that.
and if they, with as much bouncing around as a 6 meter.
Well,
it's gonna
yeah,
have-
of course, you got to keep in mind, a lot of places, like up on the East Coast, if you operate 6 meters in field day, you'll work a lot of stations ground wave. Around here, you won't because there just isn't the population. So, but I wouldn't be afraid of using a vertical on 6 because your contacts will be sporadic E, and so you're gonna get
bounce
distortion all
anyway.
over the place. Okay, folks, it should be about 7:30. I think that clock's actually a little slow, so I'm gonna wrap it up. We'll see you all at